And so often we're trying to go and solve the wrong problem. We're trying to solve our problem of how will they commit to us when we haven't figured out yet, how do I commit to them? Landing high value clients is far easier than we realize. The problem is that we try and shortcut a dating process. We try and jump from, hey, how are you, to will you marry me in 68 seconds or less, forgetting that people buy from people. So what we really need to think about is in this client acquisition journey is what part does love from you towards them play in this and the nurturing of that relationship. You know, I had a client come back to me this morning who said, oh, you haven't coached me for almost a year. I'd love to start again, blah, 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 blah. But over the past few months, well, maybe the last year, every 6 to 8 weeks, I send him a voice note, find out how he is. His wife's had another kid. How's that going? Dad of 3 now, etc., etc., etc. We've got to go and build relationships with people, not based solely upon the outcomes that we can achieve for people. A lot of suburbs, people trade hop. They have a one plumbing problem, they get a plumber. And the next plumbing problem, they get a different plumber. And the next plumbing problem, they get a different plumber. And they do the same with electricians and with carpenters, with builders and with whatever else. And it's rarely because plumber 1 wasn't any good. It's just plumber 1's become out of sight, out of mind, right? They haven't shown, they've done the job, got the money, and that's the end of showing love to the customer. And they just hope that the customer calls them back. But then the customer lives their life, meets new people, makes new friends, goes to parties, does whatever else. And they, that morning they have a plumbing problem, and they're sat having coffee with a friend, and oh, blah, 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 my water pipe's just burst. And the friend says, oh, you should meet my friend who's a plumber. They're really good. Let me introduce you to them. And you go, oh, there's a quick shortcut to that. Can't remember the last guy's name anyway. So you call the new plumber. And that's all because we're lazy when it comes to love to people. The moment you understand that your customer is on a discipleship journey with you, doesn't matter whether they're saved or not, they're on a journey with you for the longest possible time. Well, that does 2 things. Firstly, it reminds you that you need to stay in touch with them because you can't disciple through no communication. Like, that's pretty impossible. The second thing is you've got to work on what's that lifetime value of that customer. Why they keep coming back and back and back and back and back again and again and again and again and again. They're only going to come back for a great relationship linked to a great service. It's the only 2 things. And so often we're trying to go and solve the wrong problem. We're trying to solve our problem of how will they commit to us when we haven't figured out yet, how do I commit to them? That's the start of the process. How do I commit to them? And what does their version of me committing to them actually look like, right? Because I think we're so used to looking through the world through our lenses, our glasses, and saying, well, committing to somebody for me looks like this. But if the other person thinks it's completely different, well, we might just be irritating them. So what does commitment look like from their perspective? And then work backwards from there. That obviously makes it hard, but none of this was supposed to be easy. But it makes it hard because now we need to go and be very aware of who this customer is, how they view the world, how they engage with the world, what they believe to be important in the now and what they believe to be important in the future, what their past is. We need to become more a psychologist than we do a plumber, because the psychologist will understand the person. The psychologist will keep on paying love to the person. Jesus understood his people. He understood them deeply. He even knew that one of them would betray him, but he loved him enough to keep him along. And the moment that you can do that is the moment that you can build a business. But the moment that a person is just a transactional relationship of, I do this for you and then you pay for it, is the moment that you're deciding to not do business with God as your business partner. Because God isn't a transactional God, he's a transformational God. He looks at asymmetric returns disproportionately large for the input. Put in 1, get 1,000,001 back. And I think we're so busy in the world trying to be Christians, doing business the world's way, praying for God's miracles, but we're still doing put 1 in, get 2 out. But we have to do it God's way, which is love, just as we're taught, love God, love others as thyself. We have to love others above ourselves by their definition of what love looks like, and that will change person to person. And with that, we get transformational outcomes. I look at Leanne in Kingdompreneur as a great example. Starts struggling for customers, business is struggling just 3 or 4 months ago. Like, can she still be a client or not? It's all on the rocks. And we start speaking about what God's provision is and where it really is and how he's given it to us for free. And it's unlimited. And you can just access it like this. And it's not theoretical and it's not faith-based. It's, in her case, LinkedIn. And she starts sending messages on LinkedIn, 40 a day, every day. And customers start appearing. None of them come from LinkedIn. They appear like magic. And then she has her best 2 business months in the last 5 years. You see, we think everything's logical. I do this here and I should get returns there. But that's where we're going to get a transactional return. With a transformational God, you're going to do this here and show willing. And he's going to like, cool, you're finally using the resources I gave you. You're finally using the energy, the wisdom, the technology, the everything else. You deserve far more than this. Put 1 in, get 2 out. Now you're putting your 1 in here. I just want to give you 1,000,001 because that's the love and the praise from the Father. And that's the game we play in business.